Rand Paul is a crusader for the rights and the freedom of the anti-consequence, anti-common sense, anti-mask communities all around the world. Here he is.
You're telling everybody to wear a mask, whether they've had an infection or a vaccine. What I'm saying is they have immunity, and everybody agrees they have immunity. What studies do you have that people that have had the vaccine or have had the infection are spreading the infection? If we're not spreading the infection, isn't it just theater?
No,
You've
it's
had
not.
the vaccine and you're wearing 2 masks. Isn't that theater?
No, that's not. Here we go again with the theater.
Not only this was a half-baked argument and a cherry-picked portion of the study that Mr. Rand Paul was referring to. I still do not get it. I really do not. And why people must keep bringing up Rand Paul's education every time he tries to paint Dr. Fauci as wrong. There really is no comparison, everyone. One person is a retired ophthalmologist and the other one is a practicing physician scientist and immunologist. One person is a full-time politician and the other person is the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. One person has a needs to win an election to stay in his job, while the other person has nothing to do with an election except for voting. Rand Paul wanted to make a case in full public view that if a person is vaccinated, he cannot be spreading the infection. And if that person wears a mask, such as Dr. Fauci, then it is theater. Theater is when the entire Republican contingent kept their mouth shut when the farmer guy went on and on talking about hydroxychloroquine in the middle of the pandemic. Theater is when none of them said anything ever when Trump kept talking about rounding the corner, when the case numbers kept exploding. Theater is when Rand Paul, who now says you do not need masks if you're not spreading the virus, but said nothing about the mask's potential to reduce the spread before the vaccines arrived. That is theater. What Dr. Fauci made clear during the back and forth is that we still need to wear masks even if we are vaccinated because we do not have enough data that says that people who are vaccinated are the ones who have contracted the virus and cured, cannot spread it, and if the new variants can override existing immunity. We do not know that yet. It is not that hard to understand. There are too many variables to consider. We need a lot of research to reach a safe conclusion. So why take the risk when there is a less risky option available for our disposal? It's simple, it's easy, it's cheap and it's common sense, but none of those attributes will be of any help in dividing opinions. And if you cannot divide opinions, then what is the point of being a politician? There is no other country that has vaccinated more citizens than Israel. So hear this out. Israel has given one shot to nearly 60% of its citizens, and they are on track to hit the 80% of citizens vaccinated mark very soon. They are inching closer to vaccinating 80% of the population, and they still have a mask mandate in place. They still have a limit on outdoor and indoor gatherings. So why don't Senator Rand Paul give a call to Israel and ask them what in the heck they are doing? How can they not lift the mask mandate already? You must have heard about Gibraltar, a tiny overseas territory of the United Kingdom in the south of Spain with a population of just over 30,000 people. The entire adult population there in Gibraltar is vaccinated. What you're seeing here is a press release from the Gibraltar government. I want you to read just one single line from the press release. Rules on the wearing of masks will not be further relaxed at this stage. Check the date of the press release. 12th. Both Israel and Gibraltar are slow walking the removal of restrictions despite vaccinating large portions of their population. Everyone wants to get back to the old days. No one wants to live like this. But these countries are relaxing their restrictions slowly because they keep the safety of their citizens as their primary consideration, unlike some of the politicians in the United States. It's a safety first approach, not an election first approach. That is why even after vaccinating 60% of the population, Israel still has a limit on indoor and outdoor gatherings. That is why. Not because some random elected official brought a cherry-picked portion of a study and read it out loud on TV and got into a fight with a well-respected scientist. Thanks for watching. If you like it, please subscribe.